Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful Wednesday here. Well, now, if you're on the live, it's Wednesday. And before I get started, I want you to invite you to get comfy, get a nice drink. Now, I'm in Toronto, so you need something warm and refreshing. You need that warm throat because it's a little chilly outside here in this ending of November. And it's a beautiful time to tell a friend. Sharing is caring. Tell a friend that the Victory Speak show is on and it's time to have that inspired conversation, where iron sharpens iron. That's you and me sharpening each other. And, I always love starting the show with a little bit of Caribbean jazz by Calabash. I'm so glad that they let me, play their music on the Victory Speak show. And I am your host, Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory and your mental fitness coach. And I'm on a mission, folks. I'm on a mission to inspire you to live a life of victory, a victorious lifestyle. I believe we all need to cultivate that victory mindset as we mind our minds. And along my life's journey, I've had many great conversations, met many amazing people, as I'm sure you have. And the conversations have been good, bad, funny, you name it. And these conversations have inspired me to live this life of victory. And I've seen people go through so many ups and downs, yet they pursue, they forge ahead, they flow forward. And so today I want to share someone that I've had conversation with, someone that I've just been inspired by looking at her journey. Because, we all have a story to tell. And I think when we share our stories, we can all glean from each other. And as we go into the year 2022, let's all be set up for a victorious one. And this conversation has been just, set up just for you. Now, I would have some food here, but I think if I got the food from the chef that we're going to meet tonight, I would not be able to have the conversation. And joining me on the stage tonight, on the victory stage tonight, is a woman who is passionate about her craft. She is private chef and baker Amanda Hammer. She says sharing her love through food is one of the things that she just loves to do. And she was born and raised in Toronto, Canada, and has been cooking and baking for over 20 years. She received her degree in culinary arts from George Brown, and her dishes and desserts can be described as a fusion of West Indian, Asian, and Canadian flavors. Amanda also uses creativity in creating custom design cakes for all occasions. She's been featured even on the Food Network, on the Donut Showdown, and she even won the People's Choice Awards for Best Baker for By Blacks. Now, before I bring up Amanda to the show, I want to show you and share something with you. I found this amazing video. Watch this.
Hey,
That's
there.
there.
It's not looking
And
delicious.
then
Look at that. Look at that.
I am going to take a little bit of this
sauce.
pour it on
That's
there.
how you feel when you watch
little
Amanda's
bit
food. We're going to bring her up soon, but I just got to tease you with
That's a show,
this.
West Indian.
Oh my days.
Could you
And then you
imagine?
want to garnish with the green
I
onions.
just might have to do so.
I'm salivating just watching this. And I just
put it
so
on
want to
the-
bring
on
up
the rice.
Wherever you want.
the
Wherever it looks pretty.
creator. Look at this. Look at this.
Yes.
The salmon.
That
Oh,
looks great.
looking so good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Victory Speak Show.
And we can't
Chef
fancy.
Amanda Hammer. Look
We got
at the
some
creation. Look at the creation,
pork.
people.
Nice.
Amanda, this looks so
Golden.
Right?
he says it so good.
All right, you ready to dig in?
I'm ready.
He's
I
ready
ain't
to
eaten
dig
all
in.
day.
And
Look
now
how
we
pretty
can't
this
even
looks.
taste
Okay,
anything.
What?
We can't taste anything. Amanda, welcome to
Hello.
Tree Speak show. It is so good to have you on here. We got to give you a round of applause. Hold on. We got to make sure we get for that dish.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Eat it.
Amazing.
What just happened? I just got removed from my stream. Hold on. Hold on. I just got removed from my own stream. What just happened? Can you hear me, Amanda?
I can hear you, but I can't see
You
you.
can't see me. All right. See, that's what I'm telling you. I love live TV. All right. Now you can see me. I tell you,
Yeah.
it's the food. I get so excited. Like, I get so excited. My son gets excited. And, we're going to talk about that sorrel cheesecake because that just disappeared out of the house.
Hmm.
Totally disappeared out of the house. You have this way with food that just makes people just go a little nutty, a little out of character. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the Victory Speak show, Amanda. How you doing tonight?
I'm fabulous. I am great, and I'm so honored to be here.
So now tell me something. You have gone through so much, so many changes. But let's talk about the pandemic. What did you learn about yourself during these last 2 years with COVID-19, the pandemic, the pivot that you had to make? What did you learn about yourself, Amanda?
I learned that I can do anything that I put my mind to. Before the pandemic, I was like, I had goals. You know how you do your vision boards, and I want to feed this, and I want to do this, and I want to go here. And because of the pandemic, there was a bit of fear. But by May of 2020, when things people started to lighten up and said, you know what, I can eat this cake by myself. I'm going to have it by myself, but I want it anyways. People started ordering stuff, and I started getting comfortable, and it just kind of blossomed from there. And I learned that, you know, even though I'm scared to even put myself out there, just do it anyways. And the amount of growth that I've had in the past 2 years is astronomical.
I love it. Do it, but you're afraid, as we always say, do it afraid, do it anyway. So
Do it
business
anyway.
actually blossomed during the
Yeah,
pandemic for you.
people got to eat, right?
That's true.
So I'm in the good business. I'm in the right business.
And do you think because people were, working from home, probably being home so often, and when we got through that first phase when we couldn't go anywhere and we
Yeah.
could start moving, do you think that really because people think, okay, you're home and you can cook, but you're home with your children or with your partner and meetings are happening. Did that change how people were eating?
Yes, absolutely. They just didn't have the time, to be doing all they're doing and then sending up to cook. So they would reach out to me, and I would make a four dinner meal or a six dinner meal, and they would come pick it up, or I would deliver it. It was great. Like, people asked me, how was it for me? Honestly, my income rose during the pandemic. Yeah,
You found the opportunity in the crisis. You really did. And I think I even saw you doing private dinners.
I did. I did. And even that was a little scary because, the whole COVID thing, but I went
Right.
in, had my mask, wore my gloves, did just follow the protocols. And if my clients were comfortable, then I was comfortable. And it worked out. And then as I started promoting it more, people saw it and they're like, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
So, you just ask the questions before, have you had COVID? Is everything safe? And you
Right.
just go through the protocols. And every single one of my clients, luckily, has not had COVID. And it's been great, great opportunity. And I loved it.
So tell me something. When you went into the homes of all these people to make the meals, what did you find interesting about it? Like, what did you learn from the families going into the house about life, about them, and even about how they were navigating this pandemic?
Um, to be honest, a lot of people were the people that I did go into, the homes that I did go into, they weren't really paranoid. They were just like, I just want to live my life. I want to have my food. I want to enjoy life. And it wasn't so much they were scared. They were just like,
Right.
yeah, I can't wait to travel. I can't wait to do this at a restaurant, but I'm glad I can have you as a personal chef. Like, they were more like, I love this.
Would they have done a personal chef? Do you think they would have done a personal chef idea if it wasn't for the pandemic? Do you think people tried that more because of the pandemic?
Yes, I definitely think so. I definitely think so.
I feel it
Mhm.
got a little more romantic.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
people became intentional about it. And one of the things I was thinking about, I'm going to digress for a minute. When I looked at that video, and I follow you on your TikTok, on your Instagram, And I was like, what would it be like to get up in the Hammer household in the morning? Would I be waking up to these glorious smells and you know, a beautiful breakfast? And I was like, Nicole, is that realistic? Really, what is it like in the Hammer household first thing in the morning? Are you the one, saying you have to get up and cook, or is somebody cooking for you in the morning?
To be honest, nobody's cooking for me.
Oh yeah.
I have to be honest. Like I right now, because I am so busy with other stuff, I have taught my children the fundamentals of cooking. And my
Mm,
kids will get up and make meals and do like vegan brownies. And like my son loves this one recipe that I made for him before, and he's perfected it. And now he's teaching me, oh, I put coriander in this. I put
hey,
right? So it's called a monster chicken. So it's like it's a marinade of like coriander, lemon, shadow benny, different spices and herbs, and you blend it, you marinate it, and then you you marinate the chicken in it.
right.
This bread is the best, and then and this is for the gluten free lovers, the gluten free people that cannot have
Okay.
fried chicken, because any store you go to, all the chickens is in regular flour, right? So this is for the gluten-free lovers and the chicken lovers. You fry it up, and it's just I have a picture. I'm gonna send it to you later, but it's so juicy and tender, and it's different, and it's definitely something that I'm gonna have in my upcoming cookbook, and that I'm
Hey,
gonna launch.
what? I heard upcoming cookbook. Hey.
To be honest, I've been working on this book for so long because I've been scared, but
Mm,
yeah, there's a lot of fear in there because sorry, I don't want to switch topics. I know you just asked
no, no,
me.
no, that's okay. Right.
Um,
Listen, we're having a conversation, girl.
well, the cookbook, it's taken me so long because my mom is in it, and when I started the book,
Mm,
um, I had all these recipes, and it was the present tense, and I was like, my mom did this, and then I had to go back and rewrite it because she died in 2018, and so then I
right.
put the book down because I was just like, it was too emotional. Every time
Mhm.
I read it and I read her recipes, and I went over the story, because it's about my life and my journey and my eating habits and how it changed and how I implemented it into my cooking, and it just got me so emotional. So then I put it down. Then my oven wasn't working, it had to be recalibrated. Then I was like, when I was working at this one place, they would make fun of the way I eat. Be like, I was because I
Really?
yeah, I was vegan at this point and didn't eat chicken, didn't, dairy products, whatever. And they called my food Jesus food. And they would make
Hey.
yeah, they would make fun of me. So I'm like, I want I wanted to put some of those recipes in the book, but I'm like, does it have enough flavor? Then I doubted myself. And now I'm just
Mm,
like, you know what? There are people out there that are going through similar health issues that I have, and want they want the chicken, and they want the marinade, but they want it healthy. They don't want it with all this fat. They don't want it
yes.
with regular flour. They want to have fried bake, but they can't have regular flour. So amaranth flour, millet flour, almond flour. And how do they put that together? Because a lot of people, if you're gluten intolerant, um, that you have to put gar gum or anthem gum to make the dough stick. So it's very
Right.
hard. You can even make like a dumpling soon because it all fall apart. So there's different techniques and recipes that I present in the book. Um, and from 10 years from when my digestive issues started to now, you'll see now when you go to restaurants, they accommodate people like me. They accommodate people who have a lot of food sensitivities, and
Yeah.
this is actually one thing, and you're hearing it first now on this show. This is one thing that people don't really know about me. They see me as this big time chef, and oh man, it's whipping up this, but half those things I can't even digest.
Right.
So I've had to learn to do alternatives. Like instead of regular pasta, I use rice pasta or millet pasta or fino or you know, yeah. So
Amanda. Okay, hold on. I'm hugging you right now. I'm holding space for you right now. And I'm going to give you some flowers right now, okay?
thank
Before
you.
we go further, because there are people giving you flowers on here because they're already loving your sharing,
Yeah.
right? Penny's here. I'm here to support my friend. You see? I'm here to support
Hi,
my
Penny.
girl.
That's my grade school friend.
See? See?
Yeah,
The love.
Like
Thank
middle
you.
school friend.
Serena is tuning in all the way from Washington. Thank you for thinking
Really,
about the
Serena?
gluten-free folks.
Yeah.
Andrea is like, do it, do it.
Yeah. There's a need for it.
This is an amazing journey. Thanks for sharing.
Oh,
Listen.
this is gonna make me cry.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, walk with tissue. That I do have that effect. But this is your moment. This is your moment to let your victory speak. And this is why the show is. You may have to take the pillow there and pull it or something. But Amanda, this is so timely, and I'm so grateful to have this conversation because we've been trying to have this. We've been trying to have this conversation for a year.
I
Okay,
know. I know.
I met Amanda through Emily Mills, of How She Hustles. And Amanda has always come in with such love and appreciation and such care. And to hear your journey. So we need to share some of this journey because we recognize that, and it's funny, and even share right now. Like I live with the effects of fibromyalgia. I live with the effects of arthritis and the list.
Yeah.
And so there is, when you live with constant pain daily, people don't understand, right? And you're
And you
going
look
about
beautiful
functioning.
on the outside, right?
Yes,
Look, but inside you, it's like a
your
storm
body is
going.
doing something else.
Yeah.
And then even my nutritionist, and I've had her on the show, and for those of you who are looking for a good nutritionist and want to know about your food, and we're going to bring it back on, Winsome Doer, and she was telling me, we may need to, do a reset, a metabolism reset, which means pulling out the gluten from your diet, pulling out, certain things from your diet, and then it's like, where do you go? What do you get? And you talked about the flowers. You talk about the way things come together, and you may want to go buy the stuff, but you don't know how to use it. Amanda, this cookbook is so timely.
I
And when you
know.
listen, we're all going to the village is going to come together, and we're going to help you put this book out. And as
Yeah.
you tell the story, and it's your love for food and your love for people and the care and creativity is going to so come out in this. It is so timely. And the fact that your mom is such an inspiration, and I'm when I read about you and we talk, you say that you're like self taught
Hmm.
uh, on cooking.
Yeah.
Like, how did that come about? Like, where did you find this love for food, this love for cooking, and even wanting to be so creative in the kitchen, and then that took you to culinary school?
I think it's in my DNA. My mom told me from when I was a young little girl that I used to take her pots and pans and I used to be banging on it. I would play in the toilet bowl, stirring up soup. Anyway, I think
That's
it's
not
just
cool.
I think it's just in me. And I feel like I love flavors and textures. And as a kid in camp, when we were allowed to bake pies and cookies, I would always excel. I would always have people over my shoulder looking at how I'm designing things or decorating cookies and stuff like that. So there was just something about it. And then when I found out I can get paid to do this, I was like, okay, okay.
You see? And you can getting paid to do what you love makes the journey even sweeter. Makes the
Yeah.
journey even sweeter. And listen, folks, if you missed the beginning of the show, I was showing at the beginning. We did a little something creative where I pulled up a video of Amanda in this beautiful chef. You gotta follow Amanda on her TikTok and on her Instagram because it's like food heaven. It
Yeah.
totally is food heaven on your TikTok and your Instagram. And so here's something. You changed, you evolved in the pandemic, you moved your business. And if there was a chef that you could collaborate with, who would that be?
You know what? I like Chef Ramsay.
Ooh, okay, we're putting it out there. Chef Ramsay, somebody, anybody.
Yeah, he's hardcore, but
Hmm.
he knows his stuff. And I want to become at that level where I'm just like he knows his stuff.
Hmm.
So, yeah, Chef Ramsay.
Okay, so and I purposely asked this question when I was curating this conversation. I said I want to know because we're going to put it out there, and we're going to be putting it out there that you're going to have this collaboration. We're going to be sitting down one day on our TV set, so you're going to be sending us a TikTok, but it was a private thing that you did a collaboration with Chef Ramsay,
Oh my God,
and and
that's
so okay,
amazing.
so you get to Chef Ramsay, but who would you want to go to dinner with? Because you're a chef. Now, like like who would you actually want to sit down and go to dinner with and enjoy food with?
And they would have to be a chef as well?
No, they could be
Oh,
anybody in the whole
but
world.
oh. I'm
Dream
thinking
big,
Janelle
Amanda. Dream
Monáe.
big. Who was
Jan
that?
Janelle Monáe. She's an
Mm.
interesting character. I like her vibe. Her or Jill Scott?
Ooh, the musicologist in you is
Yeah.
coming out, girl.
Yes.
Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay,
She's a vibe. She's a whole vibe in herself.
so we're gonna have you with Chef Ramsay, Jill Scott, Janelle Monáe, and then one day they'd be like, "Come over to the house and cook for us." Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes. It'll be a cooking conversation. Let me tell you, cooking up at the houses.
and Drake. I would love to cook for Drake. I would want him to taste my cheesecake and rap about it.
Oh, okay. People, now that one is even closer to home. We're calling out Drake, to all my people out there, somebody in Victory Land. If
Yes.
you know Drake and we need to get him a piece of cheesecake, Mark Strong, where are you? We need to get him a piece of cheesecake. If he wants the black cake cheesecake or the sorrel cheesecake,
Yep.
he's
Yep.
we got. And listen, folks, if you haven't tested the cheesecake, well, you snooze, you lose, and don't come to my house because it doesn't last at my house.
And it is even closer to Drake because the guy that I was doing the cooking show with, his name is Roy Woods, and he
Right.
is signed by OVO. So, yeah.
So you better tell Roy. Did you tell Roy your dream?
No, it was just that one time we met and we cooked together, and that was it.
Okay,
But I
so
will message
send
him.
Roy a note tonight.
Yeah. Be like, I want to
Amanda,
meet Drake.
Amanda, send Roy a note tonight, and we got to get Drake and the whole Raptors team to taste.
Yes.
Listen, come on, let's
I'm getting
let's talk.
nervous now because it's a possibility, right?
Well, Amanda,
Yes.
okay, let's because this happened and you didn't plan it. When you got to do desserts for our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, come on now, the head.
I
Like,
know.
what did that feel like with how she hustles with Emily? What did that feel like? Your
I
black cake
know.
cheesecake was I think was the first time we all tasted the black cake cheesecake.
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was. I was ecstatic. I was like, wow, somebody of his caliber is tasting something I created. Amazing. Amazing.
Listen, that day when we tasted the black cake cheesecake, it was heavenly. I mean,
You guys messaged me right away.
I don't know if people know what we're talking about. I'm gonna share a little bit of something about that and a little later. And but okay, so let's go back a second in your story. You mentioned something about your mom because it's hitting me now. What is this was so significant about your mom and her journey and your journey with food that has made you evolve?
That she always taught me Chef Boyardee. Oops. Oh, sorry.
It's
Oh,
okay. It's all good.
you tap the
It's all good.
pen. That Chef Boyardee
Yes.
is not food. It's not something
Chef
you
Boyardee is not
It's
food.
not food. You don't open a can and pour it into a bowl and warm it up and say, "This is my meal today." No. She taught me the foundation of cooking from scratch.
Right.
She taught me that sauces are always better made from scratch and fresh food is always
Mm,
best. So I adapted those ways. Um, all my marinades, like my barbecue sauce, my jerk sauce, I'll do a lot of my dressings, all my dressings actually from scratch. And she taught me that.
wow.
Yeah.
And so if mom was here right now sitting with us, what would you tell her?
Thank you. Thank you because it inspired me. And even though you didn't think that I loved your food back then, because when we were kids and growing up
Yeah.
in Canada, we want McDonald's, hot dogs, whatever.
Hmm.
It's actually poured itself into what I do today. Her teachings has poured itself into what I do today because my menu is a mixture of West Indian and Canadian and Asian
Yes.
cuisine.
Yes.
So it's thanks to her. Yeah. And because she once in a while we'd eat outside
Yeah.
food. She always cooked fresh food.
Wow. That's
Pepper,
powerful.
yeah, pepper pot, dal and rice, all of them things.
Rick, I'm telling you, I always dream about living at your house. I've literally sent you that message. Like I could move into your house. So many times I
Yep.
wanted to move
Yeah.
into your house. What made you move from being a full-time chef into starting your taking your side hustle of Edible Bliss? And now we're Edible Bliss 2 or
Yep.
11. Is it 2 or
11.
11?
11.
11.
Yep.
Oh, it's 11. So what's 11 about?
So 11 is a very spiritual number for me. And back in like I think in 20, I think it was 2005, I started seeing it more frequently and I was like, what is number 11 about? And then I read up on it. It just means that you're on the right path. You're on
Mm.
you're ascending and you're awakening to a spiritual journey and you're on the right path. So since like having my business and meditating on it and just been so much growth and it's taken me so many different places. So yeah, that's what the number 11 stands for.
So now going back to my original part of my question is, so what made you do that big pivot, that take that chance from leaving, being a chef full time to taking the side hustle into a full hustle?
I was standing in the kitchen at DW Alexander and they gave me my paycheck and I was like, this,
Really?
no, 2 weeks and this is all I'm getting paid. No, this doesn't work for me. And I was doing tapas style food. It was a
Hmm.
small kitchen. Um, and I just could do the menu with my eyes closed. And I was like, and I had this one lady, I did a side party at the venue and I did like a shepherd's pie, I did like a full menu, and the lady just went ecstatic over my food. So I was like, I've got something here. I don't know what it is. I'm a little
Hmm.
scared. I've always, always had a 2 week paycheck. Let me take a leap of faith. So I quit that job and I've never looked back. That was October 20th, 2018.
Congratulations. Listen,
Yeah.
Martha says, so
Thank
blessed.
you,
And
Martha.
she also says, we're making her hungry.
Yeah,
Well,
like I make that in a day. What my paycheck for that 2 weeks, I make that in a day.
like
Like,
that really speaks volumes. That
yeah,
speaks volumes,
yeah,
Amanda. That
yeah,
speaks volumes because people don't realize being a chef, it's hard on your body. You're standing a lot. There's a
yeah,
lot of prep. There's a lot of preparation. And we're not just paying for the meal that gets there. We pay for the experience, the expertise that
yeah,
comes in the door.
yeah.
You know, people say, couldn't you have gotten like some of the cheesecake delivered to your house? I said, but no, I buy Amanda's cheesecake. Amanda doesn't give me her cheesecake. When I and that's the thing for me, supporting black
Yeah.
owned businesses. Even if I may not have the full money to support everybody, I know I try my best to try and help everybody, even though my son may eat me out of house and home. But you know,
Sensitive to do that, yes.
you know and
Mm.
I'm gonna see if I can, let's share something. So Martha said I was making her hungry. Well, Martha, let's try a little something here. This video is one that I love. I'm gonna put the volume on. I'm gonna start it again. I love this
I'm
video.
touching on the place. We now wash the face.
This, the cheesecake, the cheesecake.
Love it.
And we touching on the place. We now wash the face.
That, Amanda,
I love it.
listen, the cheesecake, the desserts. Listen,
I get calls like so many times a week telling me, I listen, I just went into the black owned store. I just tried your cheesecake. Where, how can I get a bigger piece? How can like so many people message me like this is I'm really on to something and I'm just like I know you can't patent food, but
yeah.
I'm
Who
looking into
says?
patent. I
There
reached
must
out.
be a way. There must be a way
I
that
know.
the
At least
original,
I can patent the name of it, but I can't
the
patent the ingredients maybe or something
right.
like that. So I'm
Well,
looking
we're
into
gonna have to find a way to help you figure out how we can. If anybody out there knows intellectual property and the
yes,
naming, but yes, I think even the name
yes,
and creating something around that would be really really strategic.
yes.
Because and let me tell you, folks, if you haven't gotten it, how soon do people have to get their orders in for the cheesecake if they want the cheesecake or even anything for Christmas? Because I know you're filling up, or
I
is it full?
I'm up to like 60 plus people right now. That's just my list. That's not including those two stores that I'm at. That's gonna be like they have to get in as soon as possible because the lock off date, the last day for pickup is December 22nd. I'm no ifs, no buts. I'm because I need my downtime after
Oh
this.
no.
And it happens every year. Oh, can I just pick it up at this? No, not the
No.
23rd, especially not
No.
Christmas Eve.
Come on now. Come
People
on
do
now.
that. People do that, and
No.
then I have to
No.
wait around. People take hours to come. So December 22nd, I'm gonna put out another Instagram post saying that you got to get your orders in, and I'll do my best to accommodate.
Listen.
And yeah,
December 20th. If you don't have, I'm going to be your manager right now.
right?
December 20th, if you don't have your orders in and if you don't pick it up by the 21st, we're selling it to the next highest bidder and it will go at prime. I'm
Yep,
sorry. No,
yep.
you have to get your rest
It's
because those
true.
cheesecakes are going to go. Serena is just asking here. And Serena, you're all the way in Washington. We're going to have to find a way to get it to you. Do you make a vegan gluten-free cheesecake?
Gluten free, yes. The vegan is kind of tricky. It's
Right.
not same. It's made with tofu, and to be honest, I don't like the taste of tofu. But it's made with
Right.
tofu, and I put cashews in there to make it creamy, and it does taste like a good dessert. But it's not. It cannot compare to the regular.
Cheesecake.
Yeah.
You can make a gluten-free vegan dessert, but it necessarily won't be a like a beautiful cheesecake the way that you would want to coin it. Okay,
Yeah.
we got that. So
Yeah.
Serena, we're gonna have to find a way to work with you. And Serena actually also deals with Lyme disease and the residual of Lyme disease. So she's very particular about what she eats as well. So this would be a really good thing to look into. So what is the philosophy behind Edible Bliss, Amanda? What is your philosophy?
My philosophy that is everything that you taste on my menu is blissful.
Mm,
The hors d'oeuvres, the salad, the main, the dessert, like everything you taste, you're like, this is so different. Um, like one of the popular things on my menu for hors d'oeuvres is like a spicy mango cup. So like spanakopito, you have
yes,
the phyllo dough. So I
yes.
take that and I make that into a cup and I fill that into with either like a Texas chicken or a spicy mango or a saltfish. And with the saltfish, you usually put tomatoes. I put sun-dried tomatoes. I just try to make every dish just different and unique.
Listen, my birthday is January 7th. Anybody wants to treat me, I will take a gift card from Edible Bliss 11.
Yeah.
Okay, people, are you hearing me? A gift card from Edible Bliss 11 because I need a special dinner on that day. And actually, it'll be dinner for two because my son's birthday is the same day.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
wait a second. What made you even come up with the black cake cheesecake and now the sorrel cheesecake? Like, how did you even come up with that? Because you're so creative. Because I'm hearing you talk about the phyllo pastry and you're taking the mango and you're adding it. Come on now.
Well, okay, I have to be honest. A couple years back, somebody tagged me on Facebook with a black cake cheesecake, and I was looking for the recipe, and I couldn't find that exact thing. So
Mhm,
I just came up with my own, and I added my own ingredients. So, and it was totally different. The way they made it was totally different from mine,
mhm.
but I just added my own flair to it. So, and speaking of cheesecake, what I'm going to do on the next batch, because I just dropped off some yesterday at the stores. The
If
next
you're in Toronto, the store she's talking about is black owned Toronto. Anywhere else?
Black owned Toronto at the Eden Center and at Scarborough Town Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get you cheesecake
Um,
tomorrow.
I just made, yes, I just made a sweet potato pie. And I'm like, how could I infuse this with cheesecake? Because the flavors that were coming off the nutmeg and I put a little bit of bitters in there, the condensed milk, the brown
Mhm.
sugar, the flavors. I'm like, this can work in a cheesecake. So a sweet potato cheesecake crumble. Yeah.
Amanda, I'll taste test for you. I mean, I'm here. Listen, I'm here for you, girl. I
Yes.
am here for you. You know what? You know what? I just saw a collaboration. I could picture you and Serena and I know Love More on the line. They would appreciate this. With Tabitha Brown. Could you imagine?
Yes. I
And
love her aura.
and listen, she just did a co-ownership with one of these big vegetarian restaurants in the US. Okay.
Yeah.
Tabitha, Tabitha, we're
Yes.
calling your name, girl. You need to meet Amanda and taste the cheesecake and the
Yes.
sorrel, because a lot of people don't know sorrel. And if you're not West Indian,
Yep.
that this is a fruit that we use, and we use as a drink. And
Yeah.
now more and more people, and that's the thing with Caribbean people, we find creative ways to take what we know naturally, and put it into different things. And what I'm finding interesting with you as well, Amanda, you make it healthy, because earlier, as you alluded to, you talked about the gluten, you
Yeah.
talked about the fact of the rice pasta and all these different things. What are some of the suggestions you have, especially when it comes to West Indian and African food, how we can even make it a little healthier for our
Absolutely.
bodies? Give us a little hint. If you have a little tip you can give us.
Yeah. And I was just speaking about this the other day. Like, you if you make your sauces from scratch, you can control how much sugar, you can control how much salt goes into your marinade or your food. Um, and instead of having rice, sorry, or white rice, or brown rice, have millet, have quinoa instead of, the white rice. There's always more, or we add more vegetables and just have like a side of what else? Amaranth. Amaranth is great. Um, there's so many different ancient grains that you can have instead of white rice, or the heaviness of dumpling,
Right.
and this heaviness of the way West Indians eat.
Yeah.
Um, you could always substitute it, and just always, I for me, I always add more greens to my meals.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. We're gonna have, and because we're gonna have to have a little way that we can tape get some of those videos you did about the cooking and stuff, and doing some cooking videos, because you need your own show.
I know it's
Edible
coming.
Bliss.
It's
Edible
coming.
Bliss. Edible Bliss 11. We need
Speaking of
your
the
own
universe,
show. And yes,
yes,
Serena is in full agreement. Listen here. We need to connect Amanda with Tabitha Brown. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna flood the timeline. And
yes.
yes, sweet potato crumble. Serena is all over it. Now,
Hmm.
here's the thing you should know about Serena. This is what I love about the collaborations, because we have to support each other. Serena she also does self-publishing, to like teaching you how to become so listen, collaborations.
Yeah,
Collaborations. You have questions, you have love more. Come on. We have
yeah,
collaborations. We got to get you to where you need to go in 2022, a whole nother level. And
yes.
so what's your favorite meal to cook? What is your favorite food?
Can I be honest? It's
Uh-oh.
so Canadian. It's so Italian. I just like pasta. I like spaghetti. I'm just so it's not
But I
you
love
people.
but that's okay, because I'm a pasta lover too, but being having to be gluten free. What have you used? What type of pasta do you use in terms to get the gluten free?
Quinoa, quinoa pasta, or
Beg your
quinoa
pardon?
mixed with rice.
Quinoa
Yeah.
pasta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that taste good?
It does. It does. It cooks up a little different, but once you know how to cook it, and then once it's cooked at the right al dente, you
Yes.
rinse it with cold water to stop the cooking process, and then it will firm up. I made a lot of mistakes cooking even rice pasta,
Mhm.
because it comes mushy. If you don't know how to cook it properly, then it doesn't, hold up well.
Right.
Um, there's Sobeys has a good brand of gluten-free pasta, and it tastes like regular pasta. Yeah.
Okay. I
Hmm.
have I have you see, you're teaching me some stuff today, my friend. And
Yes.
so now you actually got onto this Food Network to do this donut showdown. How did that happen?
I was working at this place called Bark Smokehouse in Roncesvalles a couple of years back, and I was the pastry chef, the head pastry chef there. And they're like, "Do you want to be on a donut show?" And I was like, "I don't know how to make donuts. I don't know how to make donuts." And they're like, "It's okay, just go on and have fun." I'm like, "Oh." So I went on. It was the most scariest thing because I'd never been on TV like that before, and it actually changed. It changed my life. Like, after
Wow.
that, everybody wanted me to make donuts, and I didn't know it was going to be as big as it was. Like, it was in grocery stores, like the advertisements, it was in carts, it was in on TV, it was like everywhere, and people recognized me. "Hey, I think I saw you on TV," and I was like, "Yeah, that was me." So it was great because I learned how to make donuts. I didn't know there was two types of donuts because I didn't eat donuts because I was gluten free and
Right.
I was scared to make it because I'm like they're gonna get me to try donuts and then I'm gonna get sick for a week. And but it was great. It actually worked out, and I
Were you
came in
able to
second.
do a gluten-free donut?
I didn't do that on the show, and then
Right.
afterwards because I knew that I was still learning back then. I was still learning about
Okay.
how to make gluten-free products and make them stick. So we just did a regular donuts or whatever. But uh, I don't know if you've actually seen the show. I had like this spicy gay guy. He was assisting me, and he had forgotten the donuts in the proofer. So there, there was like a countdown, and he forgot the things in the proofer. So I was like, and that's the part they took and put it on sorry, and then they put it on the commercial. So every time you
Oh
saw me,
no!
I was like this little firecracker swearing, and it just got so much ratings. And but it was a fun time. It was fun. Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's funny. It's an interesting segue. I want to show the folks something here. No, I'm going to keep it to the end because I just remembered something. The young my niece was fortunate enough to benefit from you. Now she wants her own show. You did stuff with children over the pandemic. What
I
did you
did.
do? What did you do it? I think you need to share with the folks because and what did you learn from that experience?
So we did workshops over Zoom, and a lot of kids like loved it and chimed in. So I taught them how to make cookies, and um, I taught them how to make beef patties from scratch. Everything was from scratch. But we did some General Tao chicken. We did
That was good.
cookies, like a lot of
The coconut shrimp,
coconut. No, the
was
coconut
coconut chicken.
chicken fingers with
Oh my God.
the
Listen,
blueberry
people.
barbecue
Barbecue
sauce.
sauce. Listen, people.
Yes.
You need to do that again. I don't know where you're going to find the time. Greetings, Dr. Vibe just came on the show there. Um, the what you did with the children over the pandemic, teaching them how to cook. My niece was like, Auntie Nicole, I made dinner. I was like, excuse me? And she invited me over for dinner. And listen, she it was the whole household. My nephew as well. And so
Amazing.
both of them made dinner. Grandparents got to eat, all the nephews, all their cousins got to eat. It was, and they were so proud, and it tasted so good. And
Amazing.
you listen, that piece
Amazing.
right there, you
Yes.
have to do again. And I think a cookbook, I don't know where you're going to find a time, but God will give you the resources
Yes.
because we need a children's cookbook, Amanda.
It's almost done. It's well, the
What?
wow. Oh wait, uh, the main cookbook is always almost done. But what you just said there,
A
that's
children's cookbook. You need a children's cookbook.
okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
What is oh my Lord, Dr. Vibe want to give you a whole new business. We need to connect her with a farm. Does your guest do farming?
Ooh,
She's
no.
not farming yet, but I could see you having
Yeah,
your own herb gardens and your
love
own
it.
herb spacing. And so you see, this is I somehow the collaboration of the Victory Speak Show and the and Edible Bliss 11 is happening because I see okay, um, black owned business in Toronto um, that I get fruits and veggies to go. So they
Yeah.
bring in stuff, but the African food basket. The
Ah,
African food basket might be a great collaboration. And Dr. Vibe is giving you another business. Indoor farming is big.
yeah,
Okay, Dr.
it
Vibe,
is.
we gotta talk about that. We're gonna have a one-on-one business session with you. Dr. Vibe is gonna pull things out of your
Love
mind,
it. I
bring
love it.
you to dream even bigger. Because when you have your own farm to table. Woo,
Yes. You know who else is very inspiring to me? She was a singer, a huge singer. She was married to Nas, but now she has her own farm and she has a cookbook and she cooks all the time. Khalees. I would love
really?
to cook for her and or to have dinner with her. And she makes everything like everything's organic and her like yeah, top hands down. I would love to collaborate with Khalees.
So if Dr. Vibe was actually speaking right now, he would tell you to write down the top 10 people you want to cook with,
Yes.
okay? And who you want to go to dinner with. Homework. Homework,
Yes,
Dr. Vibe. Anything you wanna add, just drop it in, and we're just gonna give it to Amanda because she's dreaming big
I am.
tonight.
I am.
Okay, Dr. Vibe does food tastings. Ha! Hey, no, that food tasting with Amanda, Dr. Vibe is gonna be me. I'm gonna be food tasting. Dr. Vibe is opening up his platform to you to say Dr. Vibe does food tastings to an IG live.
Mm.
And you know what, Dr. Vibe? We need to connect you, Amanda, with Cuisine Noir.
Ooh.
It is an amazing magazine for foodies and food lovers, and they showcase chefs all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And we need to get you and her to taste your cheesecakes. And okay, Dr. Vibe, after the show, we need a powwow with Amanda because we want you to soar. I,
Thank
I don't
you.
know what's happening tonight, but something is happening. I mean, when I think of you actually having your stuff in this black owned store, black owned Toronto, it just the possibilities are endless.
I know.
And for you, like him, how did you get involved with that collaboration?
Somebody sent me the link and I applied right away. It was like way back in March. The store at Scarborough Town Center didn't open until July.
Right.
And ever since then, my stuff has just been flying off the shelves. And when Karen's decided to open the new one in Eden Center, um, she's like, yeah, hands down, we're having your stuff. You don't even have to like tell me. Like,
It
yeah,
has to be there.
yeah,
And you're restocking every week.
yeah, every week, every week. And in the beginning in July, I was there twice a week, and I was like so tired because I was just constantly baking, like getting its stuff
Yeah.
out and packaging, and it was a lot. So that's actually one thing I wanted to talk about is I'm learning that I quit my job because I didn't want to be controlled.
Hmm.
And now I'm learning that I have to let go of this control and allow people to help me so that my business can go further because I'm
Come
growing.
on. Come
I
on.
can't do all of this by myself.
You can't.
So
You
I've
can't.
hired an assistant and I have a couple of catering gigs coming up. And she's great. She's fabulous. She knows how to bake. She does know how to cook too. But when you go to her Instagram, you see it's all tasteful stuff. And she's great. Hmm.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm just saying, in 2022, my dear, I'm just gonna get my stuff together and get what I can get from you now. Because when you end up on, all these other big shows, I might be able to touch you. So
I know.
what's so because I am so mindful of your time, and I know you have to get up early in the morning to cook and to bake, and you're making these fabulous cakes. I was looking for a video with all your fabulous cakes. People, Amanda, we're not. I know I mentioned a cheesecake a lot. You can tell I like cheesecake, but
Mhm.
she's also an amazing. You have this baking part. What's the baking part of the business? Tell us about the baking part of the business as well.
Well, I do custom cakes, and I'm actually thinking of not doing it anymore because it's
It's
time
a lot.
consuming. It takes me
Mhm.
like, and people don't get that. They want a cake for $60 and I'm like, $60. The hours that I put in, the presentation, like
Yeah.
I did a snake cake that took me hours. I did a cake that looks like a camera. Like all is art. You're paying for the art and people don't want to pay. Like I just recently raised my prices and even that in itself I was scared to do because I'm like I'm going to
Hmm.
lose people, but
Oh,
I'm like I need to I need to gravitate towards the people that my clientele, my right type of clientele that won't
exactly.
question my prices and look at my art and say, you know what, she deserves this. And there's people out
So
there
it's
that
really
charge
art.
me exactly. There's
How
people out
long
there.
does it take you to make a cake? Like so that people understand.
Yeah,
Like to design a cake. Like I
yeah,
mean, you've done cakes with people's faces. You've done such intricate cakes.
yeah.
Like for the simplest design, which there's really no simple design in your world. How long would it take you to put together the cake? I think the baking is the easiest part, maybe.
The baking is the easiest part. Um, but a simple cake will take me about 4 hours. An extravagant cake will take me like up to 10 hours. And those are the cakes that people want, but they don't want to pay the price for it. And
Oh no.
I'm still undercharging myself. Even though I've raised my prices, people charge 300 and up. I'm charging like 180 and people
So as
still.
of today, we're changing that price point. Love More has put in here Queen value first. I'm gonna have Dr. Vibe.
Miss
you
Lovemore
know.
has taught me I got to raise my prices and stick to it, and
Mhm.
don't like you. The right clientele will come to me. You
And,
know.
and here's a question that I think you may not be able to answer now, but it's a question that you have to ask yourself. How much has the price increase with the products that you use to create your masterpieces impacted? You know? And when you think about, even with the pandemic, prices and stuff have gone up. So you have
Yes.
to really charge your value. And people, if people want good quality, I don't have to, we don't have to, as we say, dumb ourselves down to people. They have to build themselves up to what? If you want quality, if you want value, if you want a $60 cake, go to Metro. If you want a
Roscoe.
cake with all the trims, and you got to pay the price. And I will
Exactly.
say it to live and on the replay. You're joining us. I'm talking with Chef Amanda, and we're just having a conversation. This is how we chat. So you're getting a really raw conversation tonight, because this is how the girls churn out.
I love it.
Real talk, real conversation. And we just have to bear in mind, and in the community, people see Black business owners, and for some reason, they forget that we bring a whole bunch of value, and they always asking for a discount. Or no, people, it's not discount season.
Yeah.
It's not discount season. And Serena saying, as of today, hey, they're pricing your cakes for you there, girl.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Yep.
you
There's
know,
a lot of cake artists out there that are charging that price for a one tier.
listen. So
A
so
one tier
Listen, Dr. Vibe is giving you the creme de la creme advice right now. Don't price your product,
price my
price your
value.
value.
Absolutely.
Everybody listening live and on the replay tonight, I want you to take that one, including myself. We don't price our product, price your value. And the thing is, we all have to learn what our value is. And so, there are times, yes, we know that there's a certain amount that you give. And Dr. Vibe, last night on Clubhouse, we were talking about, you know, when we put a certain amount aside for free, and he has not changed he's changed the word, saying, I'm giving you shit for free, I'm giving you a complimentary. So there's
Yeah.
a certain amount that you would either put about that I can do at this price, at my charitable price, and then everything else, once you hit that threshold, there's no more at that
Mhm.
complimentary price,
Yeah.
or the free price, as you say. So I can do taste testings here, and
Mhm.
then move from there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a good girl, because I know you got to get to bed. Tell me, do you have a favorite quote or motto that guides you, Amanda?
Um, a favorite quote. Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
I know. That's what I do.
Or a mantra. Um, I don't really have a big. I have like a. I'll say this, like, you know how people say go big or go home.
Yes.
I'll say it this way. For me, take those small steps, because those small steps lead into something bigger.
Hmm.
And if you've been following my journey, you'll see that I've started small and I've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm blessed, and
You
there's
are.
more to
You
come.
are.
Yeah.
And if you were, so now you're on a Victory Speak show, so you got to get the Victory question. So for those of you live and on the replay, and if you tune into the Victory Speak show, this is when we're coming down to the sweet spot here. What does victory look like to you in your life?
Ooh. Victory to me looks like, ah, you're putting me on the spot again.
Of course. Because I want you to think about this. I'll tell you, victory for me means not crossing the finish line first. It's about crossing the finish line as my best self and taking others along with me. That's what victory looks like for me.
That's beautiful. Um, Victory to me looks like, even if it's just one person, I made an
Mm.
impact on somebody's palate, because that's what I'm setting out to do. So that's what victory is to me.
You've
Leaving
made an
something.
impact on somebody's palate. That's
Yeah,
powerful. That's your love message.
it is.
Because you say that, you really cook from this place. You create from this place
Yeah,
of love. You
yeah.
play from a place of love. You know, you curate from a place of love. And you see people are following you on IG right now. Yes, Serena, thank you, thank you, thank you. So 20 years from now, Amanda, looking back on your life, what do you think will matter to you most?
The people that I impacted, the people that
Mm,
the lives that I've changed with, whether they wanted something decadent or whether they wanted something that was healthy, and they still was able to taste the goodness, the richness, but it still benefited them because they were going through whatever health complications, it benefited them. And I like that little small part, I changed that with
that's
them.
huge.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
So we've gotten some of your dreams out of you tonight, Amanda.
Mhm.
Um,
Thank you for
we
that.
have I want to know what's next for you. So we know the book's coming. We know in the future there'll be a farm. We know
Yeah.
you'll be cooking for stars. Dr. Vibe, you missed the part where she says she wants Drake to taste her cheesecake, so make that happen. Call your people. Uh, what's next for Edible Bliss 11?
Um, I have before August, I had reached out to Pusateri, and Pusateri is actually a store that I used to work at too. It's a high-end store. I want to get my products into stores like that. So
Mm,
more different stores. So not only is it in the black owned, I want to distribute.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. So that's going to be part of the expansion process. And
Yeah.
you need to get some of this money that's come into the Toronto and look for that funding there into expansion.
Yeah.
And so listen, Amanda, I am so stoked. You are, sharing some of your journey. And look, you see the flowers are coming. An impact
Thank
on someone's palate.
you.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you have loved this conversation, send Amanda her flowers. Give her her
Thank
love. Let her know what you think. Follow her on her Instagram. Order from her. Even if you're not here in Toronto, you can still treat someone to something special. Or,
Mhm.
just share what she's doing. If you know anybody that knows somebody that knows Tabitha Brown, or, Chef Ramsay,
Or
Janae Monet, and Jill Scott, let's speak up. Let's get her out there. Share her TikToks, follow her. And Amanda, we want to see more from you. We want to learn more from you. So we need to see some of those creative videos where you're teaching us how to do those tips on gluten free and
yeah.
how to make things work. We're gonna have sit down and have um my gift to you, and I know Love More will join me, and I'm going to speak for Dr. Vibe. We're going to champion you into 2022. And so we're going to give you a consultation session where we're going to
Amazing.
sit down with you and do some coaching to help you get to the next level of where you're going. Serena is giving you lots of
Thank you.
flowers
Yeah.
because each one reach one, and as you know you will be one of the, just like your business is in black owned Toronto, and you have to have a black owned restaurant and your farm,
It's
from
coming.
farm to table, and it's endless in what can happen in your life.
Yep.
And so for those who are live here, I so thank you for being on the show. For those of you on the replay, still put your comments in. Be sure to share the show. It's Victory Speaks on YouTube, Victory Speaks 7 on YouTube, Victory Speaks 707 on Facebook. If you want to be part of the conversations that we have in the Champion New Room on Clubhouse, join me. And we're going to do so much more. Remember, sharing is caring. Every day, seek to have an inspired conversation with someone you love or someone you meet today or have met along the way. Your conversations can be inspired by your truth, your love, your story, and make them meaningful, even if it starts with a smile. And I hope you see the victory moments in your week. And as we end the show tonight, I want to show one more video, which I know I just was pulling videos today for you. I just love. I can't like for me. I can't wait to have the production team that can get all the videos and everything and reproduce the show the way that we want to. But in the
It's
meantime,
coming.
you're getting it live. You're getting all the raw when we do things behind the scenes. And so, Chef Amanda, we are going to share right now.
In your eyes, I feel the warmth of your skin. Touch
The touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair, lying here in my bed. Never gonna be alone, 'cause with you I'm finally coming home. Your face, on your face, and as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place.
And so, people, as we wind down here, I thank you for joining us on the Victory Show tonight. And I'm playing this again because I want Amanda, I want you to see your creations. I want to see your victory. All of these are your victories. Just some of it. And as you continue to play, as you continue to smell you are going to make magic that here in my bed. Folks, it's been a victory. It's been a victory. Take care and let your victory speak tonight. And the